Okay, hopefully this is better. That was a bit of a bummer. I'm over on a new broadcast, and I've probably lost some of you, if not all of you. You may need to. Well, it's kind of hard to talk to you on another channel here, so I'm going to try and send a message and get people to pop over here. Looks like you're starting to show up. Sorry about that. I don't know where the echo was. Let me know if there's still an echo on this one. Problem was I got started and kicked off, and I got back on, and I think it just started looping. Technical difficulties abound. So I was starting to talk about. I used to work at a radio station a long time ago, way out in Forks, Washington, and I did the Seattle Seahawks football games, and they give you this sheet, and you had to patch into Seattle and listen to the game, and it would say there's time out on the field, and that was a local commercial, or they would say this, and then that was a network commercial. And on a network commercial, you had to turn that feed off and then play your, or just leave the network commercial going. Didn't have to touch anything, but local, I had to turn those guys off and turn me on. By the time that game was over, I had a headache. I couldn't even tell you who played, who won. And I thought it'd be an easy gig, and it definitely was not. So let me know if there's any technical issues here. If you're hearing me okay in the chat, it shows here I have 6 people on so far. So I'm going to go ahead and get rolling. We've got 6,900 homes on the market this morning. It's about 200 less than yesterday, and you can see there's a little tiny dip on both sides. Inventory down a little bit, sales down a little bit, and that is, I'm just going to attribute that to Mother's Day. Holidays always tend to give a little dip here and there, and it certainly did. So a couple quick things. One, is it a good time to buy? And I think the obvious answer is no. Rick, what are you smoking? Survey came out and said only 19% of consumers think it's a good time to buy. And this, good morning, Harry, dropped dramatically. Housing sentiment falls to lowest level in 2 years. So these are the question is, let's see, the question is one of 6 from the survey, and it's saying net positive responses to all declined in April, bringing that measure to 68.5 to its lowest level since May. So 68% of you think it's a good time to buy. 19% of you say, no way, I'm out. Hi, Jackie. You are playing in 3 places. Hopefully everybody finds you now, but it all sounds good. Holy cow, that's ridiculous. I got to figure out why that happened. I'm on in 3 places. Okay, well, this is the good one. The rest are probably toast. It's going to end. I don't know. You learn something new here every day. That's, see, now that's just going to hang in the back of my head right here while I'm live. I'm wondering, am I still on 2 other channels? Same channel, but, who knows? Hey, so speaking of Jackie gave me this question this morning, and I had to throw it together really fast, so I don't know what the data is going to show us, but how are showings this year versus last year on showing time? So I pulled up this year, no, this is last year, from April 9th to May 7th, okay? And it's showing, these blue lines are in total, but if I go down here and say between 400 and 500,000, there were 6,000 showings, weekly average, 2,800 between 5 and 600, and then over a million, there was 28.72 average for the week. And now I come over to today, and I've got here 3,200 weekly average, 1,800 weekly average. So let's go back and check that. 5 to 599. Today I've got 32. Last year on 5 to 99, I've got 28. So it looks like it went up. What happened over $1 million? 23. Last year, 28. So it went down a little bit. If we get to 600 to 699, 1,300. Last year, 600 to 699, 2,000. So I guess when you kind of take a peek at it, you can say, some price points dipped a little bit and some didn't. So it's really hard to say. Sean says, I think you've mentioned that the CMR was a leading indicator. What is generally the amount of time between, i.e. 2 months? The CMI, Cromford Market Index, is a leading indicator of what's going to happen usually in the next quarter. But it all depends on exactly what's happening. We're seeing that, like right now, active listings are going up. and this is on a daily count. And you can compare it and say, well, we were higher back in October of 21, but if you look at May here to May of last year, you can see that we're considerably higher. The Cromford Market Index as a rule, and I'm going to pull that up, and I'm doing this live for you, so bear with me here. Cromford Index, here we are, all daily chart. It's a measurement between supply and demand, so it's going down. So like if you were back here, way back in November of, this is 22, then you're looking and you're seeing it going up, saying, well, this is an excellent time to hurry up and buy because things are going to go up from there. And you can see that it started turning in February, but it always has a little bit of an up and down. And now it's showing you that there's a definite downward trend in the difference between supply and demand. And when you're looking out here and you see that we're at 350, 360 right here, 100 being normal, this is a leading indicator that says that the market's going to change dramatically over the next 2-3 months. But it's still going to take a while for prices to show, and I'm showing you this, not even showing you the darn chart. It's going to take a while. See, I'm so thrown off by those other two things going. It's showing you here that with the CMI going down, that we're definitely going to see a different market this next quarter. There's no doubt about it. There's record home prices, rising mortgage rates, and a glimmer of hope for home buyers. Well, right now there's a glimmer of hope, but I don't know where the hope really is. And most of these articles, this one was written May 10th, but they're going off of like March data. This is Realtor.com. So the glimmer of hope is everybody's hoping that the market slows down, that inventory increases, and that there will be a reflection in lower prices. That's the glimmer of hope. Now, how long is that going to take to get there? And we going to be in a situation where people can jump in and then the whole party starts over again? That's tough to tell. It's really hard to tell. I think, days of inventory right now, you can see they're going up like a Saturn rocket. So that's flying up. How long is that going to continue? Looks like that's going to be a while. So it's looking like, yes, we're going to see more homes on the market. It's looking like we're seeing fewer showings. I'll have to figure out how I can track that. And it's showing that we're having more price reductions. And as you can see in my 7-day moving average, these are the price reductions here. Again, they dip down a little bit, but they're not dramatic. So people aren't wigging out and panicking over, there's the price reductions right there. People aren't wigging out and going, oh my gosh, I got to lower the price of my house. Things are getting dismal. We're not even close to that because we're still remarkably in a seller's market. There's a builder out there, Lennar Homes, one of the nation's largest home builders, has announced they closed on a $42.5 million parcel in Queen Creek. They're going to build another 250 homes. This is kind of their new showcase home. I find it interesting. Some of these home models have these huge RV garages. Sean, should I panic if I'm a seller? No, not even close. Not yet. Ask me again in September. I don't think so. I mean, from what I'm seeing right now, homes are still selling. We're still getting offers over list price. It depends on your price point, but it's not panic time. I came out with a video last night. I hope you got a chance to see it. I go into a little more detail, but I'm fascinated by this RV garage here that Lennar has, and they're the ones that build the next gen home. So they have a mother-in-law suite. So they paid $42.5 million for land in Queen Creek with plans to build 281 homes. And they bought the entire third and final phase of Madura, a 310-acre master plan community. Now, real estate agents, if you plan on going out there and showing your clients a home, be comforted in knowing that they will not give you a commission. So Lennar doesn't pay that. Here's an interesting article here. Goldman's Hatzius, that's his last name, Hatzius, calls peak inflation as firm trims the core forecast. They're saying inflation has peaked. Now, this is going to be key in what the Fed's going to be doing going forward. Now, by peak, he's saying, we're not seeing it come down right now, but we don't see it going any higher the past few weeks. So it's making them forecast it down to about 2.5 And that's an interesting view on what's happening in inflation, because that's the big question in the market right now is how high will interest rates go? How high will mortgage rates go? How hard does the Fed have to clamp down to stop inflation? Will they have to clamp down as hard as Paul Volcker did back in the late 70s and early 80s? And the consensus right now is no, they don't think so. A lot of this is just supply chain issues that hopefully will go away, and that will help. Thomas here asked the question, is the CMI per city, in fact, my chat is disabled over there since I got back on. Is the CMI per city data available for free to the general public? I'm very interested in seeing how CMI varies across Phoenix, but can only see one cumulative index. I can, yeah, like Jackie says here, Thomas, just and Sean, just tell me exactly what you're looking for, and I can send you the data. We pay for this data. They do have a public portal that you can pay for, but unless you're an investor or something, you wouldn't want to do that. And can you show homes going over asking in Mesa? Is Gustavo. I'm going to take a peek at that for you here real quick. But Thomas, if you want to send me an email at rick@rickhelps.com, let me see what I can dig up for you. And we got a request here for homes over asking price in Mesa. So let me grab that. These are closings over list price. And we're going to filter this down to the city of Mesa. It is Mesa, right? Yep, okay. And here we are. We'll see how much of a change we've had. Look at that, 59%. And it was rolling about 55%. Hasn't changed. Well, it has changed. It's gone up a little bit. But it's showing that out of 712 homes between 400,000 and 500,000, 64% of those are going for over list price. So is it time to panic if you're going to sell? No, not at all. Not at all. And when you look at this, and this is the interesting part, the amount that they're going over list price is getting lower. So that is encouraging. So if you take a look at that same price point, 400,000 to 500,000, it says here the average is 20,000. But here's the thing that makes it so darn hard when you're trying to write an offer and you look and go, oh, I've got an average, it's 20,000. Look at that number. It says one of them went for $1 over list and another one went for 151,000. You end up with a $20,000 over list. That means the rest of them barely went over their list price. I mean, that's what that data shows me there. Between 500 and 600,000, they had minimum over list $100, and then maximum 100,000. So it still all boils down to when you're writing the offer that us agents should call the other agent and go, hey, what are we looking at? You have the ability to tell your agent to be as transparent as you want them to be. You can also tell your agent, don't share the other offers with the other agent. But if you want to have an open and transparent negotiation instead of all these escalation clauses and highest and best. I mean, we never know how to write a highest and best. But sometimes you can just do a little verbal back and forth. If the agent says, well, you know what, Rick, right now we've got 3 that came in over asking price, with the highest one being 15,000 over, and they're shortening the inspection period. So that's where we're at as of this hour. Then I get to call up my buyer and tell them exactly where we're at and say, how do you want to craft this? And we can send that offer in. We can call them and go, okay, here's what we're going to send you. Has anything changed since we last talked? That's a really clean way to negotiate. You can go ahead and do highest and best, but sometimes you end up paying too much when you do something like that. So I think that's a negotiating tactic that I favor. But it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell where things are going to come in. Now, somebody suggested the other day, they said, hey, can you bring on Caitlin McGee? It's not McGee, it's McKeague. And she's on YouTube, and I think she started probably about the same time I did. She's doing very well, and she is with Desert Dreamers. And she reached out to me earlier in last week and said, hey, Rick, congratulations for being over 3,000 subscribers, and she is as well. We're kind of like going back and forth. She's got 3,500. I'm catching her. No, I'm way behind. But we don't compete. So she wanted to know if we wanted to collaborate, and I had a YouTuber ask me if I should collaborate with with her. So we're gonna do a video together tomorrow. As of now, I don't know if it's going to be live in the morning or if it's going to be an upload tomorrow afternoon, but that'll be fun. I love talking to other agents in the market and getting a feel for it. And to remind you that we are working on a TV show format. It's going to be a news format that's going to be out the same day every week, probably about 6 p.m., and it's going to be hosted by Pat McMasters with Price Mortgage and Jackie Smith with Century 21 Foothills and myself, and we're going to be bringing on guests. We're going to be bringing on buyers and sellers to tell you what it's like, boots on the ground in the street, and we're working on all the details now, and so I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to also interview agents from across the country, so just kind of fun to do. Keith here says, home in Scottsdale jumped over 100,000 in the past few months. People still listing homes for close to 900,000 that were going for 750 a few months ago. I think they missed the boats when rates went up. Another crossover. Is it Christmas already? Not sure. Yeah, Scottsdale homes are still going up. I'm listing one this week, and Jackie, I'll send you the information. Photographer's going out there tomorrow or this morning at 10 o'clock. Kind of a neat looking place. Nothing's slowing down up there. It's slowing down about this much. And so it's hard to feel. But it's slowing down about this much in anything over 400,000, between 400 and 600,000. That we're feeling. We're feeling that quite a bit. And, you know, there are people that just got knocked out when those interest rates popped up. You know, their payment went up astronomically. And so they've either got to lower the price of home they're interested in, which is getting harder and harder, or they have to say, well, we have to sell this car to get rid of this car payment and eliminate more debt and see if we can scrimp and scrape and get into a home. And it's a tough. It doesn't happen real quick. Or we can sit on our hands and wait and see what happens. So more and more, that's what we're seeing across the country. Mortgage applications are way down. I don't like using generalities like way down and very much, but I'll get some statistics for you later, but they are way down. So anyway, sorry for the technical hiccups. I'm going to go back into YouTube and see how many times I showed up, and I'll let you know if we have Caitlin on tomorrow or Caitlin on tomorrow afternoon. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to filling out and finishing the details for the news program that'll probably come out late next week. Until then, have a great Tuesday.